I thank the gentleman from Ohio.
The gentleman from Colorado is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the recognition, and the gentleman from Ohio for his leadership in managing this legislation today. I also thank the chairman of the subcommittee, Mr. Shimkus of Illinois, for his fine work on this legislation, rising today in support of H.R. 2279, Reducing Excessive Deadlines Obligation Act, a package of bills, as we have discussed, which includes the Federal Facility Accountability Act by Mr. Latta from Ohio and the Federal and State Partnership for Environmental Protection Act by Mr. Johnson of Ohio. This legislation represents steps to roll back unnecessary and overburdensome regulations that are duplicative and unnecessary. The bills are aimed to protect the state-federal partnership when it comes to cleaning up hazardous waste sites as quickly and as efficiently as possible. The solid waste must be disposed of in a responsible, efficient, and environmentally friendly manner. But there is no need for overly burdensome regulations that put a strain on businesses. While our economy continues to sputter along, common sense revisions of rules and regulations are a vital and critical component of helping our state and local economies grow. My bill, the REDO Act, does two things. It allows the EPA the authority to revise and review the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act, or RCRA, regulations as appropriate, instead of every 3 years as required under current law. Even the EPA, in written testimony to this committee, to Energy and Commerce Committee, said this regulation, the regulation that we are changing, can pose a significant resource burden on the EPA given the complexity and volume of EPA's RCRA regulations. Again, the EPA has problems with the rule. We're simply trying to change the rule to give them the power to meet the rule. And that's why it's all the more surprising that the President would issue a veto threat over a regulation that his own agency has written testimony saying that they can't comply with it. I have problems with it. This bill also provides that when the EPA promulgates a financial responsibility requirement, existing state or federal requirements are not preempted, and EPA's requirement will fill whatever gap may be left by the requirements set forth by states and other federal agencies. If the EPA does revise requirements, they must submit a report to Congress explaining their justification to do so. It's a bill, common sense job legislation, and I urge this chamber's support. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman's time has expired. The gentleman from